I think anyone that's been down the PCOS rabbit hole, you will see the words infertility everywhere. Big capital letters. And it's the first thing the doctor says, just come back when you want kids because you might struggle. I would say that we need to rephrase that to subfertility. It's not that PCOS just sort of automatically means you're infertile. It means that you might need extra tracking, extra support, extra nutrition and supplement support to get your cycles and ovulation on track.
Hi, I was literally just saying, I was just about to do a confession of someone that's due on their period. I got up at 4:45 with my little boy today. Not okay. My partner slept in, that's fine. Well, I say slept in, he got up at 6. And I was going to walk to the gym at 6:30 and he was like, Chloe, can you drop my car to the garage? And like, I don't know about you, but like, I just had in my head I was going to get like a nice walk to the gym just to breathe before I then like come home and I'm working all day while Frankie's at nursery. And it just like threw me and I just felt this like rage come up through me. And I was just like, nah, this is so selfish. And then anyway, I didn't end up taking the car. And then on my walk to the gym, I was just consumed by guilt and
It's hard though, isn't it? I think because you set yourself up in your mind, like you've already got your to-do list like ready to go. And then anything that throws you is,
Yeah. And I feel like I'm at capacity as well. So I felt like him adding another job for me to do. But anyway, this isn't about me. But yeah, I just had to do a little confession time. Made me feel better about myself by sharing it. So Rachel, do you have PCOS, right?
I do, yeah. So I actually have had a hysterectomy, but I've kept my ovaries. And I still have PCOS symptoms. So it's quite interesting. Yeah.
I feel like I'm already intrigued. Tell us a little bit more.
So I've had hormonal issues all my life, PCOS, endometriosis, adenomyosis, PMS. So definitely a lot of hormonal imbalances, and it ended up with a hysterectomy. But they said, given all the research, we'll keep the ovaries and see how they go. But definitely a huge surge back in symptoms again after the hysterectomy. So really interesting.
And what symptoms do you have around your PCOS?
I get really bad acne, cystic acne, and I had a lot of hair loss. So yeah, that was when I kind of knew that my androgens had kind of got out of control again.
And was it your symptoms that forced you or made you like encouraged you to go and get seen by a doctor, or what was that process like?
What, for the PCOS?
Yeah.
Initially I was traveling. I was in Australia very initially when I had symptoms, just didn't have regular periods, and they just kept fobbing me off. And, you know, the story, you're just stressed, you're just traveling. And it actually coincided with me coming off the birth pill as well. So I had hormonal rebound for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's quite right. I mean, Katie, you're sort of going through similar experience with being sort of fobbed off at the moment, right?
Yeah, I've had so many blood tests. I think in the last 2 years, maybe 15 blood tests. So I'm going to be doing private because they're just fobbing me off. They're not in the good markers, and I'm still being told I'm normal. So, and it's not like hair loss. I've got weight gain. My skin's bad, and I can exercise and things, but I'm not shifting the weight. So something's not right.
Clara, I feel like this is a good time for you to...
So, Katie, I had sort of similar symptoms where I came off the contraceptive pill. My cycle was everywhere. The doctor would tell me it will come, it will, become regular. And it didn't. I would have cycles that were maybe like 45 plus days long. And I also realized that no matter how hard I worked out or ate well, especially compared to my friends at the time, I had stubborn weight that just wouldn't shift. And I'm quite fortunate in the sense that weight gain has never been a huge issue for me, but it still felt where my body was at, it felt very stuck and very stubborn, and I couldn't understand. And that's what kind of got my brain ticking towards something maybe metabolic or hormonal going on. And I did have to go down the private route and investigate that myself.
This whole private route is, I feel like it's potentially a life mission, and I'm not quite sure how I get there yet. But the fact that a lot of us all have to turn to private. Not only is women's health such a privileged condition to be able to have the awareness that maybe something's going on, having education and understanding that potentially your hormones is the problem is a privilege by itself, because some of us don't even have access to that education or that information. We then add another barrier in of potentially, and look, the NHS, they're stressed, we can't expect GPs to be perfect at everything, fully get it, but that you're then provided with barriers of really broad hormonal markers that suggest, the barrier of what's normal is huge. And then there's also the barrier of, okay, for you to get seen, I also had to go private. For you to get seen and sort of taken seriously, a lot of us will have to go private. So there's not only just one barrier to that. Not only are you dealing with your symptoms and everything and like day-to-day struggles, you're also potentially dealing with a minimum of 3 barriers that a lot of that is faced within privilege as well.
So true. And I've also gone down the private route. I've even changed my whole career because of this. So yeah, I'm a hormonal health coach now. And yeah, I don't know whether you guys are familiar with Dutch tests, but I kind of went down that whole area. So yeah, but not everyone's aware of it and not everyone can afford it. So that's the frustration.
So you, Claire, and Layla, the founder of MyOva, are true champions of turning pain into passion.
Yeah.
So then, if one of the questions I did really want to ask, so we've touched on what our symptoms would be. If you could tell your younger self one thing about living with PCOS, Katie, for you it will be, if you could tell your younger self one thing about living with a hormonal imbalance, what would it be? Rachel, let's start with you.
Start with me. I think I would really emphasize the importance of balancing blood glucose. For me, I didn't really fully understand that, and diet and lifestyle and also alcohol can play a huge part.
Okay, nice. Katie?
Mine would be, don't be scared to advocate for yourself and keep pushing for the answers. Don't just be told you're fine and give up.
I would tell my younger self, definitely echo what Rachel said with the blood sugar thing. I think I would tell myself not to spiral down the Google rabbit hole, and there will be light that comes from it. I've actually found that change in career and passion and journey quite empowering when you start to learn what's happening in your body, because we don't get taught it. Sometimes you have to teach yourself. So I've got to a point of empowerment. It didn't always feel like that, but now I definitely feel more in the know and empowered.
Yeah, I'm also going to add one in. If you are someone that's quite a type A productive female, is that yes, you can add more things to your to-do list, RE, eating whole foods and meditating every morning. But if that is a compound and just adding more to your life and adding more to your stress, that is also not going to be beneficial to your hormones. And I think for me, understanding the nervous system and how stress, even micro stresses, whether that's, waking up and seeing an email straight away, or, someone, I don't know, like Tom, bless him, asking me to take the car to the garage today. To me, that was such a huge sign that my nervous system isn't regulated, because that should be an easy thing to be able to manage. And I think that we're still in sort of the micro stages of understanding this, especially as females with hormones living in a world that relies on us to be productive and at our best all the time. But for me, I think it would be to understand our triggers and to understand that, even if you're not rush every day, we're still surrounded by so many micro stresses.
I think that's so true. And also I think it's a catch-22, because women with PCOS tend to have higher testosterone. So we're go-getters, that's what the research shows, right? So it's quite hard for us to actually take a step back, and we are living quite a lot in the masculine energy, which actually doesn't serve us at all. But yeah, it's so fascinating.
Okay, so PCOS myth. I think anyone that's been down the PCOS rabbit hole, you will see the words infertility everywhere. Big capital letters, and it's the first thing the doctor says, just come back when you want kids because you might struggle. I would say that we need to rephrase that to subfertility. It's not that PCOS just sort of automatically means you're infertile. it means that you might need extra tracking, extra support, extra nutrition and supplement support to get your cycles and ovulation on track. So I would like to break that myth, especially for anyone on that journey at the minute, because it is quite terrifying to see those words. I would call it subfertility rather than infertility.
Katie, do you have one?
Probably the only thing I'm thinking is that PCOS isn't a one size fits all. So
That was mine.
sorry. The fact that like we'll see women comment things like, I've got this symptoms and this symptoms, but I'm told it's not PCOS. It doesn't matter because everyone's symptoms will be different depending on their hormones and their body. So your journey is your own. So that's what needs to be worked with.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that is that PCOS as a whole is a collection of symptoms, right? Like, so like Kate was saying, like, you know, I might have a lot of facial hair. Katie was saying that she struggles with weight management, and like so then my approach to working with my hormones and to be able to heal that will potentially look quite different as well.
Well, you've stolen all of mine. But yeah, I would say please don't worry about the infertility sticker that's banded around, because there is so much you can do. So just having, you know, find a really good specialist and someone that's living, breathing it and understands it, because it does take time. It does take support, nutrition, a bit of a lifestyle overhaul. But you can, in, you know, 3 to 6 months, really get your symptoms and your cycle back on track. But yeah, I think, and like you were saying, it's not just about your ovaries, it's a whole metabolic systemic issue. So have that in mind, that, you know, the benefits are for the whole body, not just for the ovaries. So
I'm actually just going to chuck another one in, if that's okay. Is there from start to finish, so whether that's symptoms, going through sort of finding out your diagnosis, or whether it's in the management, is there a pinnacle moment that really stands out for you that you feel like is worth sharing? Feel free to jump in. If not, I can give an example.
yeah, I think for me, I was just thinking, I don't think I was fully aware of how serious my condition was. And it wasn't until I've had 2 children, but it wasn't until the C-section was one of them that they brought all the doctors in and said, look, this is an example of someone that's got really bad PCOS. And they all just came in and had a right old gulp at me. And you know, that's wrong for so many reasons. But in my mind, that was like the turning switch of like, oh my goodness, I'm being used as a case study here. I've really got to take some action. So that kind of hit home quite hard. And I think from then onwards, that was kind of my aha moment that I need to sort myself out. So yeah, that was mine.
I think a big turning point for me was when I discovered the power of protein and blood sugar management, and everything clicked, and I was like, oh, so I didn't have to be that hungry all the time. Which leads me on to another sort of myth just to throw in. Anyone that says that weight loss in PCOS is just the same as everyone else, that is just not the case. And you get a lot of sort of male PTs shouting down the mic, just eat less, move more, you'll lose weight. It really is more stubborn in PCOS. There's hormonal and metabolic reasons for that. It can take a lot more sort of understanding of your body and what you eat. So that's another myth. Blood sugar management really helped me with that.
Katie, do you have anything?
Yeah. Do you know, my aha moment, I think, is been learning so much with MyOva and all the professionals that get involved, because I was put on the contraceptive pill for the doctors when I was 13 for really bad PMS. And I mean, I would be throwing up for like a week, really bad skin. And I was on the contraceptive until I had my kids. So I was on that until 2017. And then since having them, then I've really actually noticed the struggles with the hair loss and the hormones not being right and the brain fog. So I think since literally coming off the contraceptive and everything stopped being masked, that's when I realized I need to like actually really work on myself and my body.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes feel like when I hit rock bottom, easy, fine, I know what I need to do. I need to sort out my blood sugars, move gentle, maybe meditate, slow down a little bit, rah, 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 rah. As soon as I feel good, I'm like, another coffee wouldn't hurt, another this. And that's where I think we can get that sort of roller coastery sort of vibe, can't we? Ladies, we've gone on for 60 minutes, so I'm going to let you go. And these have been incredible sound bites. If you could both WhatsApp me just your tags, and we'll just make sure that we tag you in all of the content. But how we see this going out is we basically want to share our communities. Obviously, you both have supplied some professional tips as well for us, but I'll basically be chopping these all out, and they'll be going out on stories and on our Instagram throughout PCOS Awareness Month. We'll also feature this in one of our newsletters as well. So thank you both so much.
Oh, it's been lovely chatting. Do some more. Do some PCOS Mythbusters and stuff would be good, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be wicked. But yeah, thank you so much.